Hi, and welcome to my home office. I've got the camera so far back because I wanted to pan out and have you see a little bit of what I've got going on around me. This is my computer, two computers here, and storage, shelves that are really cluttered. This is going to be a two-part video. This is part one. I'm going to take you a little bit more detailed, panning the camera in and around what I've got happening here in the office. The filing cabinet, there's a big filing cabinet over here. I've got two filing cabinets just out of the scope of the camera. And really, a lot of these files are going to be shredded. There's no need for them. I'm going to be keeping important documents, showing you where I've got all of this stuff located. This is going to be a big project, and I think you'll get an idea. If you're dealing with a cluttered office and you see what I'm dealing with, you probably won't feel so bad about yours. So again, if I can do this, you can do this. Stick around. So, how many files does one really need? This filing cabinet is pretty full, and some of these documents go back to about the year 2000. Absolutely no need for these anymore. I've just been storing them. This is something you won't really see. It doesn't look like clutter. You're not seeing it out and around in the office, but in my office space, there are papers around me, and those I will need to keep, and those can be filed. But to file those, I will need to be shredding these. I've probably thrown away 4 bags worth of shredded old files that have absolutely no use. What you see on top of that filing cabinet, I believe all of that will be getting shredded. I need to look through them. Just more stuff in the office piled up. There's a lot here. Can you feel my pain looking through all this? There's so much here. You'd think there wouldn't be enough storage space. Well, underneath my work surface, underneath the desk, there's some really good space down there. And as you can see, once again, that's full too. And here we go, the surface of the desk. It's probably what you would imagine in your worst nightmares. A lot of books on these bookcases that I really am not referring to or needing. Some of them I will keep, some I won't. Here's my massive shredder, and I'm working on shredding some documents now. This big storage plastic thingy is it's some things I need in there, some I don't, and a lot of stuff on the ground that has to be cleaned up. The printer I use occasionally, but not that often. Again, more things on these shelves, more books. A lot of stuff I just don't use anymore. A lot of this will be getting thrown out and recycled. Again, as if there wasn't enough storage. There's more storage underneath here. But that, as you can see, is full. Well, maybe you can't see it because it's a little too dark. But those are full. And another plastic storage container with more paper clips than I will ever need in a lifetime. Do you see how cluttered this is? Do you see how difficult this would be to work in? I've been accumulating this stuff for a couple of years now, and it just seems that it's not being dealt with. This is part of a process towards minimalism. It's not going to be about getting rid of everything. I'm going to be getting rid of some things that no longer have use, as you saw in those files. Some of those go back to the year 2000, and some of them are old bills or old bank statements. There's absolutely no reason to be keeping those. I just haven't been purging and sorting out my bills. You have to go through a maintenance. It's just like doing laundry or cleaning your floors and carpets. You have to You just have to keep up with them. You can't just let everything accumulate. And that's part of the process of learning. Once I get these systems in place, I will continue to purge down the line. Not everything will be done perfectly today or this week. It's a process, and I will probably continue to thin out the items that I have down to the bare essentials of what's most important, what's most valued, what's most appreciated, brings joy, or are pieces of office equipment or files that we absolutely need in paper. Otherwise, I'm going to digital, and I'm looking into those options now. Next to me, I've got a piece of art that should be over in the art studio, but sometimes I work from images off of my computer here, which is a larger screen. So occasionally I bring these easels and artwork back and forth from my art studio area here in the basement, and then I'll bring a piece over here to work a little bit further on with details. I will also be showing you the whole basement once it's finished. If you've been following my exciting decluttering and minimalism journey in the basement, you saw how it started out and how much we had in here, not just in this office, but in the whole basement, including my studio area. And when this is finished, I will do a sweep through the whole basement, showing footage and images of how the basement looked before and how I took each section of the basement one at a time and didn't get overwhelmed. So again, this is something you can apply to your own home, to your basement, to your garage, to a room. You don't even have to get overwhelmed with one room. You could just take a room and start with a closet or a dresser, or break it down further and just organize one dresser drawer. Just take everything out of that dresser drawer, look at it, decide if it has elements there that you want or would use, and if you don't, you just let them go. So it's a constant process of that to get it to a point of of peaceful surroundings, to where you don't feel like you're buried in clutter and you can't find documents or papers or items that you need or appreciate. So it's finding a place for everything, developing a system, and then sticking with it, and constantly going through things. Maybe every couple of months, maybe for me it'll be every 3 to 6 months. I'll go through everything, the files, the desk. I'll make sure that nothing is getting accumulated and sitting on counter surfaces. That's another tip that might help some of you, depending on the way you look at things, the way you process things. One good tip is having no more than X amount of items, say 3 items on a surface, if it's needed, or if it's decorative or a photo, something you appreciate. Otherwise, keep your surfaces clean so things don't find a landing place and start accumulating. I speak from experience because I've done that, and I'm trying to break that bad habit. Part 2 will be more of a sped up version, and you'll see all of this clutter pretty much go away, and then you'll see me putting some elements back into this, breaking it up into 2 videos because there's so much here and there's so much to go through. One video I felt would just be too long for people to sit through, and if I speed it up too much and cut too many pieces out, you're going to miss a lot of elements of what I needed to explain and to break down. So stick around. Part 2 is coming up, hopefully in a few days. And stay well, everyone. Be safe, and thank you for watching.